What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com.
Here are my DFS picks for MLB Wednesday, April 21st.
These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button
And hit that bell icon.
so you don't miss our new videos.
In this video, I'm going to go over my top DFS picks for today's MLB slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, we have a 6-game slate tonight, so let's take a look at the pitcher position. I like Aaron Civale with a 5% pitching advantage over the Chicago White Sox. Aaron Civale, he's only giving up a .629 OPS versus righties. He pitches his best ball versus righty batters, and he's facing 6 righties tonight. On top of that, the White Sox have only hit 20 of his last 73 pitches. That's a .274 batting average. He's $10,200 FanDuel salary and 100 less on DraftKings. He's projected at 29.7 fantasy points here tonight. He has an ERA of 2.18. His record is 3-0 on the season, pitching an average of 93 pitches per game, averaging 42 fantasy points per game. He scored 37, 48, and 40 fantasy points in the last 3 games. So I like Aaron Civale here versus the Chicago White Sox. Okay, let's take a look at the catcher position. I like Salvador Perez with a 70% batting advantage over Michael Wacha. Salvador Perez bats 60% better versus righty pitchers. He's batting a 1.173 OPS versus righties. And Michael Wacha, he pitches his worst ball versus righty batters, 11% worse than his pitch to lefties, giving up a .895 OPS versus righties. Salvador Perez is 3 for 9, batting a .333 batting average and a 1.000 OPS versus Wacha. One of those 3 hits is for a home run. Salvador Perez is $3,700 FanDuel salary and $1,400 more on DraftKings. Projected at 10.8 fantasy points here tonight, averaging 12 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored 3, 9, and 22 fantasy points in the last 3 games. So I like Salvador Perez here versus Michael Wacha.
Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching.
If you want to enter the drawing for $100 PayPal,
All you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won.
and then we'll send you $100 PayPal.
So it's that easy.
And we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video.
So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you.
Okay, let's take a look at the second base position. I like Kiki Hernandez with a 29% batting advantage over a low salary pitcher, Trent Thornton. Kiki Hernandez, he bats 4% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .724 OPS versus righties. And Trent Thornton doesn't pitch that well versus righties, 26% worse than his pitch to lefties, giving up a 1.060 OPS versus righties. There's no at-bats versus Thornton yet, and Kiki Hernandez is $2,700 FanDuel salary and $1,200 more on DraftKings. Projected at 8.5 fantasy points here tonight. He's averaging 9 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored 0, 28, and 19 fantasy points in his last 3 games. And Vegas thinks there's going to be 10 runs in this game. That's the over-under. So I like Kiki Hernandez here versus Trent Thornton. Okay, let's take a look at the third base position. I like Chris Bryant with a 68% batting advantage over David Peterson. Chris Bryant, he bats 37% better versus lefty pitchers. He's batting a 1.128 OPS versus lefties. And David Peterson, he throws his worst ball versus righty batters. 31% worse than his other pitches, giving up a .836 OPS versus righties. There's no at-bats versus Peterson yet, but Chris Bryant is $3,600 FanDuel salary and $900 more on DraftKings. Projected at 10 fantasy points here tonight. He's averaging 13 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored 3, 9, and 51 fantasy points in the last 3 games. So I like Chris Bryant here versus David Peterson.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
Okay, let's take a look at the shortstop position. I like Xander Bogaerts with a 26% batting advantage over Trent Thornton. Xander Bogaerts, he bats exactly the same versus lefty and righties, batting a .893 OPS versus righties. And Trent Thornton, he's giving up a 1.060 OPS versus righties, pitching 26% worse to righties as he does lefties. And Xander Bogaerts is 2 for 10 with a 200 batting average and a .633 OPS versus Thornton. So I don't love that batter versus pitcher history, but I do like the splits. And Xander Bogaerts is only $3,000 FanDuel salary. He's $2,500 more on DraftKings, but I love that FanDuel price. He's projected at 11.1 fantasy points here tonight, averaging 11 fantasy points per game on the season, and he scored 32, 0, and 22 fantasy points in his last 3 games. And we know Vegas thinks there's going to be 10 runs scored in this game. So a high-scoring game. So I like Xander Bogaerts here versus Trent Thornton. Okay, moving on to the outfield position. I like JD Martinez with a 60% batting advantage over that same low-salary pitcher, Trent Thornton. JD Martinez is batting 35% better versus righty pitchers. He's batting a 1.065 OPS versus righties. And we know Trent Thornton doesn't pitch that well versus righties, giving up a 1.060 OPS versus righties. And JD Martinez is 4 for 10, batting 400 with a .955 OPS versus Thornton. JD Martinez is $4,400 FanDuel salary and $1,700 more on DraftKings. Projected at 10.2 fantasy points here tonight. He's averaging 18 fantasy points per game on the season, and he scored 6, 31, and 6 fantasy points in the last 3 games. So you guys can see that I like this stack versus Trent Thornton. So I like JD Martinez here versus Trent Thornton.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.